everybody, and welcome to Gene's Reviews from just a regular dude, where I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, and I review YouTube channels. Today I'm doing one, and it's called Top 5 Most Mysterious Families in the World. Mysterious families. And this is from a channel called The Finest. So, let's check this one out. Let me get my headphones on. And we'll check this one out right now.
Some families are loving and wholesome, like The Simpsons. Some are notably less innocent, like the Mansons. Who knows what secrets families keep to themselves? From the CAD Wills to the Colts, here are the 5 most mysterious families in the world. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos every day. That being said, let's begin.
Let's begin!
Number 5.
Sounds like her old radio
CAD
voice.
Wills. When asked, the neighbors of Simon Cadwell described him as something of an oddball. That is only scratching the surface of how truly peculiar Simon Cadwell, and indeed the whole Cadwell family, actually is. Simon would apparently frequently make claims that the local utility company was trying to send electromagnetic waves into his home. Quite why he thought this, or what he thought the local utility company was trying to achieve by doing so, is unclear. But crazy conspiracy theories rarely form in the logical part of one's brain. Nobody thinks the British royal family are lizard monsters because of facts. But Cadwell's oddness stretched far beyond simply thinking odd electric signals were being pumped into his home. He wrote his own makeshift Bible, something titled Servers of the Divine Plan, and used it as the religious text for his very own cult, something called the Truth Fellowship, which sounds less like the name of a religious order and more like the sort of band I would have liked when I was 14. Simon was no longer. The cult was reasonably popular, and he shared his home with his girlfriend Chantel, their daughter Leela, and a family friend, Tony. But obsessing over electric signals, starting his own cult, and writing his own Bible apparently wasn't weird enough for Simon Cadwell. The life of the Cadwells was about to get mysterious. The entire family, including friend Tony, hopped into a car one day, leaving nothing behind but a note on their door that read, "Gone to Brazil." The Cadwells mysteriously vanished, never to be seen again. Nobody has heard anything of them ever since. So where did the family go? Could the note be trusted? It seemed not. Concerned for the welfare of the family, authorities checked all flight records and determined that the Cadwells had never gotten on a plane. Was the note a lie, or did they simply fail to get to the plane? And either way, where did they go? Considering the oddity of Simon, most theories point towards him killing his entire family, including himself. But there's also every chance that they are still out there, happy and healthy, simply choosing to live off the grid. Now it's
Maybe maybe they went to their mothership up in space, kind of like that guy years ago that was in that had that cult where they were all gonna, the Halebot comet dude. I can't remember his name or anything, but that's what it kind of sounds like to me. Yeah, he probably did kill his whole family. Crazy people.
It's time for the star topic. According to one of you guys, this photo was found buried in the depths of the dark web. Unfortunately, we've struggled to verify that, but the fan who sent this in really insisted that's where they found it, so we thought it might be fun to explore what they told us. According to our anonymous subscriber, this is a photo of a real family of humans chilling out with a real family of aliens that visited them. It seems implausible, right? Surely everybody would know about this. I mean, maybe the family chose to keep details of their intergalactic visit secret, though if that's the case, why did they take a photo? Some people have suggested that these are real aliens who did visit this family, and the perfect cover was to take this photo, as it would seem so fake, hiding in plain sight as it were. What do you think? Real aliens visiting a real family? Real family posing with fake aliens? Real aliens posing with fake humans? As always, comment down below with the hashtag star topic, and we will pin the comment that best explains what's being shown on this
real
image.
family posing with fake aliens.
Keep things moving. Number 4. The Rothschilds. The Rothschilds are one of the oldest royal families in the entirety of European
They're in
history.
the Illuminati.
Going back to the 18th century, this German-oriented Jewish family set up several banks in different parts of Europe. They were vitally important to the international finance sector from its very formation. The family grew to be incredibly popular and notorious, particularly Meyer Amschel Rothschild. Meyer built a financial institution unlike any other before sending 5 of his sons to different cities in Europe, London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, and Frankfurt, to do the same. The Rothschilds' empire of money grew and grew and grew, and soon the family became the owners of the largest private fortune in the modern history of the world. They came to be sitting on a mountain of money that rivaled Smog's own pile of gold. Being so vital to European money distribution, the Rothschilds have formed tight relationships with kings, queens, princes, and princesses across many different parts of Europe. They say success is all about who you know. Well, the Rothschilds know pretty much anybody who's ever been born with a silver spoon in their mouth. So far, you may think they just sound like your bog-standard rich people, the Kardashians of the financial sector. Maybe one of them will release a sex tape before marrying a perfectly average rapper. But what makes the Rothschilds so tantalizingly
That's good. Perfectly average. He's God! I am God!
intriguing is their constant secrecy. Sure, we know their names because they're famous. We know their business because everybody knows about money to some extent because we all need it. But otherwise, they remain highly secretive about their dealings, and naturally, that has led to scrutiny and theories about what they might really be up to. We know for a fact that they have unethically manipulated the stock market to double their own personal wealth, and we know for a fact they have personally financed wars. What else could they be secretly using their money to get involved in, finance, and manipulate? Over more than 2 centuries, conspiracy theories have followed the family around like a bad smell. These theories take differing forms, such as claiming that the family controls the world's wealth and financial institutions, or encouraged or discouraged wars between governments. Discussing this and similar views, historian Niall Ferguson wrote, "Without wars, 19th century states would have had little need to issue bonds. As we've seen, however, wars tended to hit the price of existing bonds by increasing the risk that a debtor state would fail to meet its interest payments in the event of defeat and losses of territory." By the middle of the 19th century, the Rothschilds had evolved from traders into fund managers, carefully tending to their own vast portfolio of government bonds. Now, having made their money, they stood to lose more than they gained from conflict. The Rothschilds had decided the outcome of the Napoleonic Wars by putting their financial weight behind Britain. Now they would sit on the sidelines. What do you think? Is the constant theorizing and paranoia about the Rothschilds justified, or is it all born out of jealousy due to how rich they are? And is it their own fault for being unnecessarily secretive, or do you think they're secretive because they're actually hiding something?
Oh, I think they probably are hiding something, and I don't think it's unwarranted to think all this stuff. I mean, money corrupts, so when you have that much money and you can do pretty much anything you want, I mean, it's bound to corrupt you, I would think.
Let us know what you think below. Number 3. The Greys. In many ways, the Greys could be described as less of a family and more of a clan. Consisting of more than a dozen men and women who are all living together in a small town, the Greys are the very epitome of the gun-toting, government-hating, God-fearing stereotype littered across American fiction and folklore in the Midwest. This cluster of outlaws is led by grandfather and patriarch John Joe Grey and has been constantly at war with the federal agencies and local sheriffs for more than 15 years. John Joe is quoted as saying, "We fear no man and believe in eye for an eye," and it's a mantra that perfectly sums up every aspect of their behavior. Keeping themselves as isolated as possible, they constantly refuse to let any officer enter their property and growing their own food so that they don't have to ever travel too far away from their 50-acre wooded ranch in Trinidad, Texas. John Joe's 15-year-long standoff began when Grey jumped bail after being indicted on 2 counts of felony assault. During a traffic stop in Anderson County, he allegedly attacked Texas trooper Jim Cleland. A struggle scuffle ensued after Cleland reached for a .357 caliber handgun in the car in which Gray was in. Anti-government pamphlets and references to setting off a bomb on a highway overpass near Dallas were found in the vehicle. Gray was charged with 2 felonies, assault of a public servant and taking a police officer's weapon. After promising to have no access to weapons while awaiting hearing, he was out on bail when the judge held his bond insufficient and ordered the rearrest of John Joe Gray. Local Henderson County Sheriff Ray Nutt has stated, "This kook is not worth it. 10 of him is not worth going up there and getting one of my young deputies killed."
That's
As
true.
a result, charges were recently dropped. But despite the dropping of the charges, this strange and antagonistic family remain as secluded as ever.
Let them live their lives, just stay away from
The
them.
Colts. What's weird about the Colts? Well, they're more incestuous than the Targaryens, that's what. The Colts are an Australian family consisting of nearly 40 individuals. Almost every one of those 40 members is a product of incest between 2 other members. The incest started with just one brother and sister, but soon grew to the entire family over 4 generations. Knowledge of the family came to authorities in June 2010, which led to 7 risk of significant harm reports being reported. However, an official investigation wasn't opened until July 2012 when a child reported overhearing another child at a local primary school speaking of an unkempt girl living in the bush who was pregnant with a child fostered by a brother. The child overheard the girl state that one of her sisters was pregnant and they didn't know which one of her brothers was the father.
I wonder if that's kind of based on that movie, The Woman, where they keep that woman chained up in there and the father molests her and all kinds of stuff, but then she comes back for revenge. That's a good movie if you haven't seen it. It's a great horror movie. And I think it's an Australian horror movie, so that might have something to do with it. It might be loosely based or something, but it's called The Woman.
Number 1. The Sopris. Joseph Sopra is the richest banker in the world, and as we know from the Rothschilds, with money comes conspiracy theories, mysteries, and whispers.
And corruption.
Notorious for their stable yet clandestine banking operations, the mysterious Sopra family continues today as a veritable fortress of banking successes. Despite this, they've remained incredibly mysterious. What is it about absurdly rich families and making sure nobody knows anything of what they're up to? No wonder people think the way in which they get their money must be shifty. The Sopra dynasty.
Honestly, do you think that somebody with that much power and that much money and everything wouldn't be corrupted and wouldn't do anything to keep that money, including murder or whatever? I think this stuff absolutely is true.
As it's known today, was born with banking mogul Joseph Sopra's great-great-grandfather well over a century ago. The Lebanese Jewish family became the most trusted bankers of the Ottoman Empire, most notable for facilitating trade between Alexandria, Aleppo, and Istanbul. When the Ottoman Empire began to unravel at the beginning of the 20th century, Jacob Sofra separated himself from the family business to open the Jacob E. Sofra Bank in Beirut, a savvy, albeit callous, move. Already, you're starting to see how Machiavellian the Sofras have the potential to be. Jacob's son Edmund joined the business at the ripe young age of 16 and quickly took over the institution's precious metals division. The Sofras came to be known for their discretion, keeping all formal records in an ancient Arabic script known only to the Middle East's well-educated Sephardic communities. It was a clever tactic, albeit a morally dubious one, as it prevented a majority of people from understanding the true ins and outs of how the business operated. By 1956, Edmund, now 24 years old, traveled back across the Atlantic to found the Trade Development Bank in Geneva. Beginning with only $1 million, the bank grew to be the center of the family empire, with assets surpassing $5 billion by the early 1980s. But in the 1980s, the family's name was thrown into the spotlight when Edmund was forced to sell the Trade Development Bank to American Express. The Sofras, who had by and large avoided scandal for centuries, got their first taste in the early 1980s. The Latin American debt crisis forced Edmund to sell the Trade Development Bank, or TDB, to American Express for a cool $650 million, a deal that would haunt the banker for years. The deal went sour though, and American Express started a smear campaign against the Sofras. After a mess of costly post-acquisition problems, American Express refused to let Edmund buy TDB back. In reaction, Sofra opened a new bank that would be in direct competition to TDB, a move that led American Express on a worldwide smear campaign against Sofra. By 1989, and a few PR nightmares later, American Express publicly apologized and donated $8 million to a charity of Sopris' choosing. It's Edmund's personal life where things start to get really interesting. Unmarried until age 44, he was well aware that being one of the world's most successful bankers meant the very real threat of a gold-digging wife. Edmund's brothers disapproved of his apprehension, hoping that the family's golden boy would have a son to carry on Edmund's dream of a 1,000-year-old Sopra bank. Edmund Sopra met Lily Monteverde in 1969 when she lost her second husband, Alfredo Monteverde, to suicide. Lily, already a wealthy Brazilian heiress, sought financial counsel for her newly inherited Monteverde fortune. She got that and more. Although Lily's already massive fortune led Edmund to believe that she was seeing him for the right reasons, his brothers remained unconvinced. Not only was she beyond childbearing age, but she was also under some scrutiny for the suicide of her husband. This was not the woman for Edmund, the Sopra brothers said. Edmund listened to his brothers and broke off the relationship, returning to New York. However, something clicked in Edmund, and he and Lily were back together by the winter of 1972. Most attribute the change of heart to his discovery of Lily's third marriage to Moroccan businessman Samuel H. Bendahan, which transpired not long after their initial breakup. Although the marriage only lasted 2 months, it was enough to catch Edmund's eye, and the two were formally married in 1976. Their prenuptial agreement was 600 pages long. Lily and Edmund lived a life of luxury, with homes across the globe, including the celebrated Villa La Leopolda on the French Riviera. In December of 1999, Edmund was found dead in his Monaco home. The cause? Arson. Although one of Sopra's nurses, an American named Ted Meyer, was arrested for the crime, there are plenty of rumors about who actually started the fire. Some accuse the Russian mafia. Others think it may have been Lily. Why do you think the Sopras are so mysterious about how their money works? And who really started that fire? Let us know what you think. Do you think the secrecy of rich families is because they're shifty, or are they just private? Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now.
I don't know what to think on that one. The Russian mafia, or her, or I don't know. With her past, it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. I thought that was pretty interesting though. 5 most mysterious families in the world. And now, on to the joke of the day. It's always hard to explain puns to kleptomaniacs because they're always taking things literally. Literally. They literally take... Oh, okay, never mind. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene, all that fun stuff. And share this if you like all my videos. And I will see you next time.